Hey guys, welcome to Two Guys Teach Industrial Design. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about package, perspective, and side view. You can draw just about anything in a side view. You can take the side view, do a 3-point perspective, or you can do a 1-point perspective, tip up kind of thing. And a lot of designers start off that way. But the first thing you need to keep in mind is where everything is. So here's the engine that I've kind of blocked out in the transmission. We're going to do, a rear-wheel drive car with a front wheel or FR front engine. So that's important to know. And then you have to know your occupants are, drive angle, things like that. So before we move on, most people like to have a trunk. They like to have things in their trunk. So we mapped out a little storage here as well. So this is something to keep in mind before you go any further. We got our people, everything, and this is our ground line. So you might want to say, why am I cutting off the wheels down here as well? Part of it's stylization, and part of it is if you look at any car on the road, the rubber flexes and it goes down a little bit. So yeah, let's move on to the next. So to make things easy, I like to underlay things so you kind of get an idea where things are. Circle templates are awesome. I'm using 80-degree circle right here, but if you can get a regular circle that isn't screwed up, I highly recommend it. Normally when you buy a circle template, unfortunately, they usually are 80-degree circles. Just a heads up. So anyways. So we've got about 1.5 wheel base right there, which is a little short, but we're gonna make something kind of fun out of it. So through our ground line, that's your ground. And now let's go. Let's go from here. So this is the middle, about the middle, right here, of your wheels. When your car is pretty athletic, if you look at the rocker panel, it's usually, rocker is the lowest part of the car right here. So it's usually about half the wheel to make it athletic. So we're gonna do that. And we're just gonna kind of gently block in where everything's gonna go. So I guess just watch and learn. So as you can see here, I went too far because of the engine, so I had to bring it up. If you didn't map that out beforehand, you would have kept going and designed a car that's not buildable. So, you need to know these things. So it's good to have that underlaid. It prevents you a lot of problems in the future. Engineers will hate you, and I mean hate you, and you will hate them if you do not know what you're designing. So this is just basically a silhouette. Right now we have a silhouette. This is all subject to change, but as you can see, it's the beginnings of a really interesting looking car. If you have a good silhouette, you're gonna have a good looking car no matter what. But if you have a horrible silhouette, it's gonna be a bad looking car. So this is where things get fun. I like to start off with inspiration lines and kind of go from there and work things out. And a lot of people work differently, and that's fine. But there's some people who draw with make a whole box in perspective and draw the car within the box so the car is perfectly in perspective. But the problem is their car turns out to be a box. We don't want that. So I'm going to start off with some inspiration lines and just kind of draw through everything, and we'll see what happens. always sharpen your pencil. It's smarter to over sharpen than to under, because it's just gonna look really bad if you keep pressing really hard, and it'll just screw up your sketches. And go lightly, because then you can go over it again and change things. The other thing is embrace mistakes, because they can bring cool shit. I don't mean to swear here, apologize for that, but embrace them, because when you just let things flow, things happen. Usually pretty cool. So now you got wheel fenders. Now you need wheels, obviously, because, well, we just did all that and there's no wheels. Now we fill in the gaps. I'm just gonna do this part by hand because I don't really want to deal with it right now. And we're gonna fix this later in Photoshop anyways. Alright, well now we did a little cleanup, and I'm going to do some markering. So you guys can kind of see what happens when you mark things out, help things go. I'm just going to do grayscale this time. So I'm just going to use these Copic markers here. As you can see, just use warm grays, you know, like W4 and well, W2, W3, and W5, W7. And I might bust out this one. I might. So, just kind of watch and see what happens. And you can get these at any Blick or whatever. So, I like to start in the middle. And this color helps define exactly the role of the surface, because a lot of people look at this and they'll think other people understand what the car is supposed to look like, but you're not seeing the true surface. So C5 for the show. This is important. We're going to show off. Oh, we should probably do the hood too, huh? You always do what's ever facing the sky upwards darkest. For whatever reason, the sky makes things darker. Now we're gonna put in a core, which kind of tells where things roll, how it is. It's like here we have a core this way. If you think of a cylinder going this way, now if you were to look at a cylinder the other way, same thing would happen. But you gotta do it this way. So we're showing where things roll. Just the thing I like to do to indicate it's glass. I had a cool product design teacher who taught me that. We're almost done. Taillight or headlights. Let's finish this girl. And now the fun last little cool little trick I got for you guys is use a ballpoint pen. You can get it at any like Staples or Office Depot, and just kind of go over the front. And that is a side view. And this is two guys teaching you industrial design. Yeah. Take care.